So we're in Gloucester again today, looking at a driving test route, and the route is going to be navigated by RouteBuddy, a driving test route app, which I'll talk about a little bit later on in the video. The route is going to cover lots of traffic lights and multiple roundabouts. There's a lot of lane changing going on as well, so if you do struggle with traffic lights, roundabouts and lane changing, then this video is for you. The route takes around the 40-minute mark, which is right close to what the actual driving test is all about. So Gloucester Driving Test Centre is just ahead of me. Not sure if you can see it on the video at the moment, but there are motorcycles outside, so be aware that this is a motorcycle driving test centre as well. We're going to be covering a route which should take around 25 minutes or so, depending on the traffic, up to 30 minutes. So average driving test takes around that time. So when we move away, good look around, and I'm double checking my left because I'm pulling away from the right hand side of the road. And this is the driving test centre. All the parking spaces are all on the right. As soon as you come out, you're confronted with a roundabout. So I'm checking my right. Mirrors, signals to come off. I'm gentle braking because there's a car coming towards me here, and right mirrors. And as we come out, we're going to be turning right. So left mirror to come in, rear and right mirrors to turn right. And I said on a previous video, this is a dead-end street as you come out, but I'm double checking to the left just in case cyclists come out from a pathway to the left. Right mirror to come out. Another roundabout straight away, so we turn in right. So rear and right mirrors, right signal. Just going all the way around, rear and left mirrors, left signal to come off the roundabout. And I'm going to be turning left at the traffic lights. At the moment I've got a green light. So mirrors, signals, lights changing. And we're following Bristol Road, and it's M5 A38 and Gloucester A430. As I say on all the videos, when you're stuck on traffic lights and you've stopped, make sure that you're checking your exits. Make sure that you know if there's any restrictions in the road you're turning into before you actually turn in. This is a perfect opportunity to just relax and just take in the view of the road. I've got a green filter light. And as I turn out, I'm just going to check to my right, make sure nobody's jumping the traffic lights. Straight away, dual carriageway, 30 mile an hour. And I'm going to be turning left at the next set of traffic lights. I'm just going to stay in the left-hand lane. And it's City and Ross. So I've got a green filter light, but I'm still going to put my signal on. Now the lights are changing. So again, traffic lights, taking the view, look at what's coming up. I've got multiple lanes. And according to my sat nav, I'm going to be veering off to the right, but as soon as I pull out, I'm going to stay to the left until I can see what's ahead of me. Could be a roundabout, it could just be an intersection. Just going to make sure before we actually jump across lanes. And if you are driving or learning to drive in Gloucester, please take professional driving lessons to make sure that you are aware of the roads and the limits and everything which you need to do for the driving test. Now the intersection just to my right did catch me out when I first came here. and if you can catch out an experienced driver, it can definitely catch out a learner driver. So make sure that you are taking professional driving lessons. Just checking my right again. And I need to switch lanes now, so mirrors. Got a vehicle coming around me, so I'll wait, now I'll go. And I need to jump lanes again, so check and go. Don't assume that you know you're going somewhere. Always make sure that you're following the actual directions you're given. And again, this is traffic lights again, so I'm just going to check to my right just to see if there's any restrictions. And as I'm looking to the right, I can see it's like a retail park or a business park. There's multiple eateries, we'll say. There's car dealerships. So make sure that you're checking. So because there's multiple eateries around you, I'm going to expect people to just cross the road. Checking my right, make sure nothing's coming around me. Just following the road. So we're currently on Bristol Road. As you can see, there's a mobility scooter on my right and the van's just gone around it. Cycle lane coming up, so checking my mirrors so I can pull around it. So we're following this road now for 1.5 miles. Left mirror to come back in around the cycle lane, right to come out around the next part. And then left to come back in again. Right to come back out again. So I'm assuming there may be a few little back roads here because there's a retail or industrial park, business park. And the examiners might pull you off just to potentially parallel park. Maybe a bay park in a car park. There's a lot of mirror checking going on there. There's cycle lane, then it ends, and it starts, and it ends. Traffic lights. Right mirror to come out for this cycle lane again. So this road's still on Bristol Road. I'm wondering there, would they get you to pull over for a second just to do a hill start? Possible. Checking around now because there's traffic lights coming up and I'm going straight ahead. And I can see the road markings are saying left-hand position, so check my left mirror, check my rear now before I brake. And again, I'm just checking around just to see if anything's changing to what I believe is true. So as to speed limits, any restrictions. I think I'd be going onto a road which I shouldn't be going onto. Just make sure that you're taking all the information in. Checking both mirrors. And is this a bit of a village centre? Potential of meeting situations on this road. If there's large vehicles coming towards you. And with all these parked vehicles, just be aware that one of these vehicles could move away at any time. So make sure that you're checking around yourself. Make sure that if something does pull out in front of you, that you are aware of what's around you and you can stop safely. Small car park there, could be a bay park in there. Checking the mirrors constantly on this road. I'd assume that if there was a few less parked cars, it could ask you just to pull up on the left somewhere and then move away again, so you're moving away in traffic. You can see this road being very, very busy around lunchtime-ish. Traffic lights up ahead again, so we're going straight ahead. And the next set, I'm actually going right, but I'm going to go for the left lane to start with. Now I'm going to change lanes. So give that a little shoulder check as well. Now, what a local driving instructor might have said there is when you know that you're turning right up ahead, change lanes before that set of traffic lights, so you're already prepared for it. So if this was a busy time of day, it might be really hard to actually get across the lanes. Now, I'd done a route previously in Gloucester, which was full of roundabouts. This route, it's all full of traffic lights. I'm not a fan of traffic lights because they stop everything. I prefer roundabouts to try and keep everything moving. And somebody just beeped there. I was looking at the Range Rover because the Range Rover's got his right indicator on, but he's going straight ahead. And I thought he might actually turn right at the traffic lights. So it's being aware of your surroundings all the time. So if these traffic lights all work at the same time, and that Range Rover did want to cross lanes, they might actually try and cut in front of you. So you need to be aware of your surroundings. I'm going to put my right signal on. And now we're on Treeway. For those who are actually learning to drive in the area. Nobody on a pedestrian crossing. And we're following this road now for another mile. It's a little bit more scenic this time than the last time I'd done a video here. Just following the road. Checking behind before I brake. I'll go for second gear because I'm under 20 mile an hour. And I'm just following the road ahead. So the road markings are saying I can use either lane to go straight ahead. So whenever there's more than one option to go straight ahead, always go for the left lane, unless you know where you're going. So if you knew that you were turning right further up ahead, then use the right lane. And I can see there's a retail sign on my right for retail shops. So I'm expecting again a bit of traffic around here, pedestrians. There's the shops. Another set of traffic lights. Checking around the car again. This looks like a little bit of a town centre here. We're still following this road now, according to the sat nav, for another just over half a mile, and then we're going to be turning right into Worcester Street. So I'm going to stay in this lane for now. I've got half a mile to actually work out what I need to do. Checking both sides of the car again, make sure nothing's coming around. I can see there's a sign coming up now for Cheltenham turning right. It's nice, that road sweeper there. And I'm not turning right here. It's half a mile. If you remember, I said it's half a mile, so there's no need to change lanes yet. Now, I'm going to block this junction on the left-hand side, because anything coming out of that junction can only turn left because of the central reservation, and nothing can turn into that junction. If that central reservation wasn't there, then I would leave the junction open. I'm going to continue ahead in this lane. And I got a little bit better view of the sat nav now because it's going around the bend, and I'm just going to keep following this lane. Now I can see that the left lane is going to be closed because of the diversion signs or the roadwork signs. So when I go through the traffic lights, that's when I'm going to think about going into the right lane. So I've got a train station sign to my right. So I'm assuming this is the city centre here, or the town centre. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, if it's a city. And the road which I'm going on is heading for the A40 for Ross and the A38 for Tewkesbury. And like I said earlier on, make sure that you know what's going on when you're on these traffic lights, and the roads works which I've just mentioned is a perfect time to actually say what you're seeing and work out what's actually in the roads. This vehicle's turning right. Is it going to give me space? Yes. That's actually a roundabout. And up ahead now I'm going to be turning right, so I'm going to stay in the right lane. There's a sign on my left to say use the right lane to turn right, and the road markings are telling me that as well. I'm going to put my signal on. So we're going to be going under a bridge, and I can't see what's underneath the bridge, so I'm not going to race forward when it's time to go. And the traffic lights up ahead. On the left, I've got the 3 lights and a filter light to the left, and then I've got a light on the right hand side, just 3 lights. So I'm assuming that I'll have a green light to go in a minute, and that's going to give me priority over other vehicles. It is going to give priority, so it's giving a filter light. Before we carry out the next part of the video, I'd just like a quick shout out to our sponsor today, RouteBuddy, which supplies driving test routes for all around the country. One of the biggest issues when learning how to drive is filling those gaps and practice on roads where you may have to go on your driving test. So RouteBuddy has been designed to give you the best possible chance of learning in between driving lessons and while you're on personal practice. When you use the app, all you need to do is select your driving test centre and select the route which you'd like to practice on. RouteBuddy will give you turn-by-turn directions throughout the route. If the route has to be changed, then RouteBuddy will do it for you. If there is unexpected roadworks on roads or road closures, just turn off the route and RouteBuddy will change the route for you, getting you back on track as quick as it can. I genuinely think that if you are learning to drive and you get into test standard, RouteBuddy will help you practice in your area on roads where the examiners are likely to take you. All you need to do is select the driving test centre where you're taking your driving test, and it'll give you multiple routes for you to practice on. So if you're looking for an app which will help you with your driving lesson practice or just general driving practice, then RouteBuddy is for you. So new road, new checks. So now we're on Worcester Street, the A430. Somebody's going a bit wider on the push bike there. So we're just going to follow this road for just under half a mile, and then we're going to be turning right at the roundabout. Now we're on Kingsholm Roads. So the roundabout is showing on my sat nav now. And if I look a little bit further down, I can see a traffic light. I'm assuming that's a pedestrian crossing. But it could be traffic lights on the roundabout. It could be traffic lights after the roundabout. And looking at his traffic lights after the roundabout. So try and look as far as you can. Make sure that you know what's happening. So I'm taking a third exit to the right. So I've checked my rear and right mirrors. And I've got my right signal on with the right position. I've got nothing coming from over the roundabout. And now we're safe to go. And follow the curb around here. Mirrors, signals, come off the left-hand lane. And I got arrows on the floor now and a sign to say that the right lane merges with the left, or to merge back in. So I'm checking my right mirror to make sure that nothing's coming around me, because if it is, I need to give way to them. Nobody on the pedestrian crossing. Now he's gone back to 2 lanes, so check my left mirror and just drift to the left. 4th gear. And this is Escort Road. So it's a 40 mile an hour zone and I'm doing 36, 37 mile an hour. Because there's multiple lanes, I'm checking my right mirror every now and again and my rear view mirror just so I know what's around me. Then we've got another roundabout coming up and we're going to be going straight ahead, second exit. So from back here, there's no road markings, so I need the left-hand lane. Push bike coming around, I'm going to slot myself in after the push bike. Rear and left mirrors, left signal. Checking round again, make sure I know what's around me. And then I got another roundabout coming up. I'm turning left, so I'm in the correct lane so far, so I just got to check my mirrors. My signals. Gentle brake. Nothing coming from my right. Cancel my signal, because I don't want people to think I'm turning into that junction. Now we're on Barnwood Road, heading for Eastern Avenue. So I can see a vehicle stationary in front of me, so I'm checking out all three mirrors, just coming off the gas. The BMW is turning, so I'm going to just do a signal just to change lanes, and then I'm going to come back in around it. And if you notice, each time I change the lanes in, check the blind spot, make sure it's safe. And I've got a big roundabout coming up. I need the right-hand lane. So I'm checking my mirrors, signals, blind spot check. And this is traffic light controlled as well. So checking around the car again because the lights are changing. I'm going to put a right signal on because I'm first in the queue. And I can see why they put traffic lights on this one, because of the incline and the speed of the traffic coming around. It probably would have been a very difficult roundabout to join on. So after this next lot of traffic, I'm assuming we've got a green light. There we go. So I'm going to stay in the right for the moment, but it's going into two lanes, so I go for the middle lane. But I keep my indicator on. Follow my lane around, it's 838. Rear view mirror, left signal. I'm going into a 40 zone, but new roads, new mirror checks. Starting to pick my speed up a little bit, and I can see up ahead that the traffic is getting slow moving because of more traffic lights. But I'm going to be going straight ahead until I reach a roundabout, so I'm going to stay in the left lane. Checking round as I'm braking. Go for first gear because I'm stopping. As if everything starts to move again, I'm ready to go. Checking both side mirrors again. As I move away, I'm checking my rear view mirror. Just going to pick my speed up gradually. Another set of traffic lights. I'm still going straight ahead because I'm looking for a roundabout. So checking the road markings. So I can still use this lane because the road markings on the floor. Picking first gear again, still checking round. So we're on Eastern Avenue. And we're around 8 minutes and about 3.5 miles from getting back to the driving test centre. So drop in the comments what you've thought of this route so far. If there's anything which you think, why did you do something that way, just drop it in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can on it. And if I can answer it on a video, then I will. So I'm starting to move, checking both side mirrors again. Just following the road straight ahead. I'm still waiting for that roundabout, which is half a mile away. So constantly checking, Traffic lights up ahead, they're on red, so checking behind. Doesn't look like they are going to change, so I'm going to slow down earlier. It's not going to move in time, so I'm picking first gear. Just following the road, still waiting for that roundabout. And we're still on Eastern Avenue. And that learner who just pulled in could have given a little bit more space before they actually pulled in there. And it is potentially one of the driving test fails, which I'll be covering in a different video. So here's the roundabout, we're going straight ahead. Can't stop on top of the pedestrian crossing. And a good general rule, if you can see 3 lines straight after the crossings, zigzag lines, then there should be space for you to fit in there. And I'm going to follow this bus. Mirrors, signals. Another roundabout coming up. We're taking the 3rd exit. So I'm going to switch lanes, some mirrors, signals, blind spot check. And looking at the road markers, I think it could have potentially stayed 1, 2, and 3. Could have potentially stayed in that first lane. And what I actually done there is a driving test fail for actually failing to check that mirror when you're crossing through lanes inside a roundabout. So I'll talk about that in a different video. So we're on Finlay Road, A38. And we're 6 minutes away now from the driving test centre. Pedestrian crossing, I can see somebody's just walked towards us. I can expect these lights to change, so I'm checking behind. Still checking behind. Lights haven't changed. But there was a chance that they could change. The lad who just pressed the button has actually just walked to the middle of the road now. So this has actually been quite a nice route so far. Apart from the traffic lights, I'm not a fan of traffic lights, but it's actually quite a nice route. So looking for Southern Avenue to the right, some mirrors, signals. All the way around, mirrors, signals. Could you have used the left lane there? Because the sign was telling me it was off to the right. I think the right lane or the right position was actually the best option there. But if you are practicing in these areas, please take professional driving lessons, and a driving instructor will give you the best possible information for the areas which you're driving in. This is a nice straight road here. Feels like you want to go a lot faster than what you can. So everything's slowing down in front. I'm checking around. There's traffic lights. There's a lot of traffic. There's about 10 cars there, so it's not going to move by the time I get there. Pick first gear. And I'm just going to continue to follow this road. I'm on Cole Avenue now, A38. And in a mile away, I'm going to be turning right onto Merlin Drive, which is back towards the driving test centre, which is on Falcon Close. So again, just checking around the side to me before I move away, or as I move away. For those who've watched the video to this point so far, if you are learning to drive in the Gloucester area, drop us a comment. Let us all know what your experiences are and what your difficulties are, so we can share it with the rest of the community. And if you've taken your test, you've passed your test, or failed your test, just let us know what you've done, and just share it with the community so we can all learn from it. Just drop us a comment. So I can see there's a big intersection coming up now on the sat nav. Just checking all around the car here because this van's pulled it out into the middle of the road, and it looks like I'm going straight ahead. Checking left to come back over a bit. And I can see road markers now saying straight ahead, either lane. So checking around again before I brake. Also, if you're just watching this video just to see what the roads are like in different areas, drop us a comment. Let us know where you're taking your driving tests. Let us know what difficulties you are finding while you're learning to drive, and I'll try and get to your driving test centre and do a video in that area. So we've been about 36 minutes so far. Bearing in mind that the driving test is up to 40 minutes. It can go slightly over, can be slightly under, but it's around the 40-minute mark. And we've got 2 minutes to get back to the driving test centre according to the sat nav. And I can see the sign up ahead now for Quedgley. I think I've got that right, Quedgley. So I know we're actually going back to the driving test centre now, so I wouldn't need the sat nav at this point. So the driving test route app which I'm using is RouteBuddy, and it covers driving test centres right across the UK. There will be links down in the description to download, whether you're using Apple or Android. And it's a good little tool to get you onto roads which could be going on your driving test. So I'm going to be turning right in 0.2 of a mile. So I'm going to change lanes, checking that blind spot again. And this is going back to the test centre. So it's Merlin Drive I'm turning into. And then back into Falcon Close. First in the queue, so signals go on. It's been a lovely day so far up in Gloucester. Car's registering 30 degrees. It's a little bit overcast, but it's been a lovely day. And the routes which I've taken so far are actually nice routes. Personally, if I was learning to drive in this area, the main things which I'd be focusing on is lane discipline. There's a lot of lane choices, and if you get those lane choices wrong, you could end up going a totally wrong direction. So we're going to take the second left. And the driving test centre is just ahead of us. What I'm going to do is go round the roundabout. So all the way to the right. So where the motorbike is just in front. That's where the driving test centre is. So YouTube's about to pop a video up just on my left hand side of a video which it thinks that you might be interested in. Give it a click. It might be something of interest to you. It might be another test route for this area, but just give it a click and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.